I'm officially stepping into the world of testosterone, not because I need validation, not because I'm chasing numbers or approval, but because I have more to prove to myself. The version of me you thought you knew, he's gone.
Okay, I just got off the phone with Alex Eubank, who's confirmed that he is in fact now on steroids. Now he says he wants to be open, honest, and transparent about everything. And so he's starting with 200 milligrams of testosterone, a longer ester. He's going to do that per week. And so he's been doing these shots for 2 weeks, and he's gotten his blood work done, he's got a doctor involved, and so he's doing everything as safely as possible.
People are going to make videos on this. I know Greg will for sure. I know Noel, I kind of talked a little bit about on his page, but I'm doing it in a healthy way. I'm monitoring everything.
And so his dose is basically an HRT dose, or let's call it high dose HRT.
They pinned me right there. And it was great. And I'm doing that, HCG, and then I'm going to be taking glutathione or thiamine, whatever it is.
And so what do I think of all this? Well, I feel like the pressure to look good, to be lean, it's harder than ever before. These young guys, for example, Alex Eubank, despite having a Greek god physique, it's not enough. He's telling me he's struggling to stay this lean and that his sex drive, his energy levels, his recovery, it's all suffering from being so lean.
When my body is like lean and aesthetic, I feel like shit. I feel like less of a man. My sex drive is shit. My sleep is shit. Bad energy, brain fog. It just isn't fun.
And so clearly with HRT, it's a lot easier. But here's the thing. He's in his early 20s. He shouldn't need testosterone replacement therapy. If he were to get a little bit fatter, increase his calorie intake by a couple hundred, perhaps maintain a healthy body weight, 15%, he would feel fine. And so does he actually need HRT? Of course he doesn't. There's no way he needs this. But when you're as famous as Alex Eubank with millions of people looking up to you, and people are constantly putting you down, making fun of you. I mogged Alex Eubank. Look how small he is. And when you see him in person, you're gonna think he's not that big. He's about 5'9", maybe 175, 185 pounds. Not very big. And so he compares himself to other people, which of course is the thief of joy. And so what do I think is going to happen? I think he's going to be on HRT. He's going to put on more muscle. He's going to have more energy. His brain fog is going to go down. He's going to get leaner and have more muscle. He's going to get stronger. And he's going to love the way that he looks. Love it. And so if he didn't go on HRT in the first place, he would compare himself to what he is right now. And so he should be happy with that. However, once he puts on those 10 pounds of muscle, he's going to regret losing that muscle because when he goes off of HRT, he's not going to be as strong and he's going to lose muscle. And so here's the thing. Once you go on for life. It may not be physically addictive, but cognitively, mentally, it absolutely is. You start comparing your old physique to your new physique and you're not happy. And so once he puts on 10 pounds of muscle and the gains become basically normalized, what then? He stated, I'm never going to go higher than this in my entire life. This is the maximum dose that I will ever do.
I'm going to take a quarter of the amount of gear that your favorite influencers probably taken and have a physique they could dream to have.
That's what everyone always says. You first do a cycle, I'll never do more. And that applies to any drug. Oh, I won't get addicted. I won't do that. I won't be like those other people. But sooner or later, you start comparing yourself to other people and yet again, you want to do better. Imagine if he puts on even more than 10 pounds. Perhaps he puts on 15. And then he thinks, well, maybe I could be an IFBB pro. And then what happens? You keep upping the dose, and before you know it, you're addicted. You're unable to stop. And so one of the things that I'm concerned about is that the millions of fans that see this are going to think, hey, if Alex is on HRT and he couldn't do it natural, then maybe I need to go on HRT because I can't do it natural. Now, it is a lot better that he's being open, honest, and transparent about this. He could have gone on this cycle and said nothing. And so he's gone on the Noel Diesel podcast and he opens up that he had actually done his first shot before going on the podcast. And so he's been on testosterone for just over 2 weeks. He's done 4 shots already, and I asked him, well, how do you feel so far? Can you tell when you're training? Do you feel that extra power, that strength, and so on? He says, no, not really. I don't feel all that much. Although mentally, I do feel better. My energy is up, my sex drive is up, and I feel better. And think of this, 200 milligrams a week is perhaps double what his body's used to making. And so it's not going to be night and day. It's not going to be as though he took 500 milligrams or taking 1,000 milligrams. It's not like he's on test trend and so on.
Honestly, my main reason for wanting to hop on in the first place was just because like my body's gotten so used to being at such a low level, I feel like naturally for so long. And when I hear about people who are on TRT, like say like how good they feel, it's like completely different than what like I feel.
And so the changes are not going to be so pronounced that he completely has a different feeling. But he does in fact feel the regular changes from taking more testosterone, which would be improved libido, more energy, better sleep, and so on. And so after years of Alex Eubank saying, I'm going to go on testosterone, I'm going to go on this, is it time to hop on? He finally bit the bullet. He finally decided to do it. I was hoping that he wouldn't, but at least he's getting monitored by a doctor. And so to me, this is the lesser of two evils. He very easily could have just said, hey, I'm going to go from the gym bro at the gym and start doing 500 milligrams a week. I'm going to do test, trend, I'm going to do everything. But instead, he's taking a very low dose of testosterone and is going to be monitored by a doctor. He's going to show his blood work. And for me, knowledge is power. I'd rather people be honest. I'd rather them speak the truth and say exactly what's happening. And so although I don't think it's a good idea, although I don't agree with it, it's certainly better than the majority of people, which would be, they would be doing this in secret. They would be saying nothing. They wouldn't be monitored by a doctor. And they would just take it in secret. And so I'm certain that it's going to be a 50-50 split. He actually asked me about this. He said, what do you think the reaction is going to be? I said, well, half the people are going to hate it and the other half are going to enjoy it. You're going to have plenty of haters saying, why are you taking this? Why are you taking that? And you're going to have other people saying, oh, I'm excited. I can't wait to see how he looks. And so everyone who's out there, you got what you wished for. You wanted Alex to take steroids. You wanted to see what would happen. Many people, they love to see the train wrecks. They want to see the guys taking test and trend. And for example, you guys are cheering for a guy like Togi, gambling his life savings away. And all you're trying to do is to see his downfall. You want him to lose all his money. You're not cheering for him. You're watching the train wreck as it unfolds. And so remember, this is a very slippery slope. Once you start taking performance enhancing drugs, it is very hard to stop. It was hard for me to stop. I tried as long as I could to not take them. I was in my 30s. I started taking them and abused them for 10 years. And since that time, I've only been doing HRT. Very, very difficult. But the temptation, it's always there. You look at your old physique and you remember it and you want to keep going. And so for Alex Eubank, I'm certain it's going to be the same. He's going to see his new physique. It's going to be better. It's going to be improved. He's going to have more energy, better libido. Everything is going to be better. But once he stops, if he stops, it's going to go down. He's going to remember the feelings he got in the gym. He's going to remember his amazing physique, which now is not as amazing as it once was. And so what is going to happen? I personally think he's not going to be able to stop. I think that dose of 200 milligrams eventually is going to go up. Now, perhaps his blood work isn't all that bad. Perhaps it comes back without too many damages. But remember, the more months, the more years, the longer you do this, the worse it can get. And so hopefully he's healthy in all of this. I'm sure that there's going to be a boatload of comments, many against him, many in favor of him. And so let me know in the comment section, what do you think of all this? Did you expect him to go on? I personally thought he was one day going to go on. I fully expected this to happen. When I met him in person, he spoke about how he was tempted already, and I said if he's tempted at this young of an age, eventually he's going to bite the bullet and he's going to go on. Once you've seen your friends take steroids, get bigger and more jacked, it's very hard to stop. Remember, you are like your 5 closest friends, and so if your friends that are near you are also taking steroids, if you're in the fitness industry and you're seeing people competing and have amazing physiques, the temptation to do so, it's also going to be strong. Now remember, if you don't want to use testosterone, but you want to make gains, consider using terkestrone and GO2 Max. We literally have a money-back guarantee. That is how strongly we believe in the products. And remember, terkestrone is from Uzbekistan. It's not from China. And we have third-party labs proving that it is what it is. And so if you're interested in these products, code Greg, 15% off. And gotta go and catch my flight. And until next time, I am out.